43 years, the 44th Infantry Battalion has always exemplified the very best of Filipino soldiery and unmatched professionalism. Under the guidance of our untiring commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Don D. Templonuevo, the battalion has soared into unprecedented heights. From January 12, 2019 to date, Lieutenant Colonel Templonuevo facilitated, spearheaded and achieved the following: on operations, 18 battalion-size operations, 17 company-size operations, 17 platoon-size operations, and 8,169 small unit operations, resulting to 30 encounters against various threat groups. These encounters resulted to the recovery of 58 assorted high-powered firearms and 77 low-powered firearms. A total of 18 enemy killed, among which are the following high-value target personalities: Leonido Nabong, also known as Boss Day, Coco, Odvic, and Adlay, former Secretary of the Western Mindanao Regional Party Committee, WMRPC, currently Central Committee member of the Communist Party of the Philippines, New People's Army, National Democratic Front or CPP-NPA-NDF, and the First Deputy Secretary and Overseer of WMRPC, and Comiteng Mindanao, COMID, member by forces led by First Lieutenant Darwin C. Sonio, Signal Corps Philippine Army Commanding Officer Charlie Company 44th IB. Another highlights of this encounters was the neutralization of 5 members of Abu Sayyaf affiliated Saabad Group by forces led by First Lieutenant Gestoni V. Labarosa, Infantry Philippine Army Operation Officer 44th IB. The encounter resulted to the neutralization of the terrorist leader Furaji Indama and forbade their plans of conducting kidnap for ransom and bombing activities in the areas in around Epil, Sambuanga, Saboga Province. Furaji Indama, Dala Islamiyah Abu Sayyaf Group, DASG, Basilan leader, and Mame Aberi, sub-leader of the Abrol Abdus Salam Group, involved in kidnap for ransom activities. With the expertise in the field of military and combat operations and careful planning during the time of Lieutenant Colonel Templonuevo, out of 30 encounters counter-terrorist group and lawless elements, there was no recorded killed in action or KIA in the government side. The progress of the area of responsibility is one of the critical goals of the battalion. As such, the Agile N Stable Troopers has been conducting critical infrastructure, investment, protection, and security operation on important and flagship projects. A total of 32 critical infrastructures and investments totaling to about 7 billion pesos are currently under the 44th Infantry Battalion's protection, including the following: 17 road concreting projects, 4 road openings and farm-to-market roads, 5 flood control and water supply systems, and 5 bridge construction and repair. Moreover, the battalion is providing security through its Delta Company to the Balabag project of the TVI Resource Development Philippines worth 6 billion pesos. During the stint of Lieutenant Colonel Templonuevo, all violent and non-violent activities of the confronted fronts were prevented. All critical investment and infrastructures projects security operation were conducted successfully through collaboration with other intel units and security forces in the area of operation. In his 2 years as commander, 44th IB, there is no recorded atrocities against government developmental projects. With the advent of the coronavirus pandemic, the battalion has also established 5 quarantine control checkpoints and conducted undertakings in combating the said epidemic. On intelligence, the battalion captured a total of 55 enemy personalities. A total of 85 communist terrorist group personalities surrendered, among which are individuals with high-ranking positions and are members of Western Mindanao Regional Party Committee. These include Cinderella Ursua, also known as Asin, Alice, Cora, and Sonia, Front Secretary of the defunct Feliciano Bravo and Front 13, an execom member of WMRPC and presently the PG of Feliciano Alpha, Antonio Dialogon Roda, also known as Dondon and Sindoy, former Front Secretary of the defunct Front Joji and presently the Regional Finance and Logistic Officer, R4, of the WMRPC. The successful conduct of focus military operations, FMOs, against Communist Terrorist Group, CTGs, led to the dismantling of 3 guerrilla fronts of Western Mindanao Regional Party Committee, Guerrilla Front Feliciano Bravo on December 17, 2019. Guerrilla Front 13 on July 3, 2020. And Guerrilla Front Feliciano Alpha on January 15, 2021. These efforts resulted to Zamboanga Saboga province declaring itself as an insurgency-free province. On community support programs, CSP, and ending local communist armed conflict, LCOC. The conduct of retooled community support programs, RCSP, clearing 24 CTG conflict-affected barangays in the area of operation. The creation of 21 counter-organizations in counter-terrorist groups affected barangays, the Alsa Masa. The conduct of 12 service U caravan that benefited 11,244 individuals, majority coming geographically isolated and disadvantageous areas, GITAs. Engaging local chief executives of 13 municipalities and 39 barangays to support the call for the declaration of communist terrorist group as persona non grata, a total of 7,218,525 pesos worth of assistance under the Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program benefiting 99 former rebels/militia Nang Bayan from the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Trade and Industry, and other government agencies. Various trainings and livelihood programs were given to affected barangays in partnership with different agencies, a total of 13.3 million pesos worth of assistance in the form of cash, skills training, livestock starters, corn and rice mills, and water supply systems from the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. 7 million pesos worth of cash, livestock starters, and crop seedlings from Department of Agriculture. 1 million pesos worth of assistance from Department of Information and Communication Technology. All of these benefiting almost 300 individuals in the affected barangays. The inauguration of the halfway house in Epil, Zamboanga Saboga. Memorandum of Agreement signing with the National Housing Authority and the local government units of CI, Zamboanga Saboga, and Godod Zamboanga del Norte. Other assistance include 1.2 billion pesos worth of infrastructure from the Department of Public Works and Highways including a farm-to-market road in Barangay Bonawan to City of Maquinarias, all of Godod Zamboanga del Norte and 193 million pesos worth of various projects from Payapa and Masaganang Pamayanan project of the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process including classrooms, tribal halls, multi-purpose buildings, and health centers among others. Lieutenant Colonel Templon Wevo also supervised the security coverage in support to LCOC projects that includes the following: 2 road opening projects at Sagakad Bayog to Pawan Mitsalip by the 547 Engineering Battalion and Dilokot, Godod to New Tampalizan by the 551 Engineering Battalion, road concreting projects at Bayog Zamboanga del Sur, the Dipili, Palangbato, Damalinao, Bental, Liba, Cahiagan Circumferential Road worth 750 million pesos. Others include, on civil-military operations, the conduct of 18 tree planting activities with over 17,000 assorted trees planted, 14 clean-up drives, 43 Brigada Escuela in the different school campuses of the Department of Education, conduct of loudspeaker operations amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, coordination with 10 radio channels in the area of operation to conduct radio broadcasting operations, conduct of 18 medical civic assistance programs and dental civic assistance programs with 9,243 beneficiaries, 7 peace rallies, 45 Grand Palong Palong, conduct of 10 RCSP consultations, seeking to address the grievances of almost 2,000 individuals in the affected barangays and cities in the area of operation. 2 Preventing and countering violent extremism PCVE activities, benefiting 1,400 participants. 2 National Commission on Indigenous Peoples consultations benefiting almost 400 indigenous people. 12,000 e-clip leaflets distribution. 1,500 backpacks from GMA Kaposo. Conduct of 5 youth leadership summits and conduct of 3 barangay defense system training benefiting almost 800 participants. Lieutenant Colonel Templon Wevo is also instrumental in the creation of the CFAB 13, an organization composed of the 46 surrendered former rebels.
PAP gustong palaguin naman ang turmeric products na gawa ng mga dating rebelde para sa kinabukasan ng kanilang pamilya.
Naniniwala si Templo Nuevo na mapapasuko ang lahat ng miyembro ng CPP-NPA kung sakaling mapabalita na sa buong Mindanao ang paglago ng kabuhayan ng former rebels na yumakap sa programa ng pamahalaan.
It aims to provide livelihood opportunity to the former rebels through the production and distribution of turmeric tea from naturally harvested turmeric from the hinterlands of Zamboanga Siboga. With its current success, it is now improving the lives of the former rebels. On C4S, war can never be won without signal communications. As such, the battalion has strived to improve its communications capability. Under the guidance of Lieutenant Colonel Templo Nuevo, the battalion has expanded its signal projection capabilities by acquiring 3 repeaters in addition to 1 repeater issued by the Army. Other improvements include installation of 4 secured mode VHF repeater system for strategic locations, thereby increasing radio connectivity of all combat groups operating in the area. Installation of 50 megabytes per second Department of Information and Communication Technology Internet connection. Installation 100 megabytes per second PLDT Internet connection, providing Wi-Fi connection that covers almost the entirety of the battalion. Launching of React Tagoff Group to 44IB communication link. Installation of 12 kV ampere generator providing emergency electric supply during power interruptions, and installation of the battalion telephone system. On administration, Lieutenant Colonel Templo Nuevo planned and implemented the construction and repair of the battalion headquarters in Imelda, Zamboanga Siboga, seeing to it that all necessary facilities and amenities are available to his troops and their dependents. Repair and maintenance of facilities and acquisition of battalion property, admin building, officers' quarters, soldiers' hall, CO's quarters, visitors' lounge, post 1, water system, comfort rooms, mini gym, billiard table, mess facilities, ceremonial equipment, conference room facilities, solar lights, smart televisions. Further, to uplift spiritual life and morale of the troops, he organized the 44IB band to utilize activities such as happy hour, team building, socials to maintain harmonious relationship among the personnel and to ease combat stress. During his term, 5 officers, 199 enlisted personnel were promoted to the next higher rank. Moreover, 33 personnel were recommended meritorious promotion for gallantry in battle. He also recommended numerous awards such as Distinguished Conduct Stars for 2 officers and 1 enlisted personnel, Gold Cross medals for 3 officers and 40 enlisted personnel, Silver Cross medals for 24 officers, 106 enlisted personnel, Gawad sa Kapayapan for 62 officers, 842 enlisted personnel, Gawad sa Kaunlaran for 42 officers, 674 enlisted personnel, Military Merit Medals for 56 officers, 359 enlisted personnel, Meritorious Achievement Medals for 20 officers, 5,784 awards and decorations were given during his term, comprising of Gold Cross medals, Silver Cross medals, Meritorious Achievement medals, Military Merit medals, Military Civic Action medals, Mindanao Anti-Dissidence Campaign Medal and Ribbon / Anti-Dissidence Campaign Medal and Ribbon, Military Commendation Medals and Wounded Personnel Medals, and Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines Medal and Ribbons. 11,662 letters of commendation were received by the officers and men of the unit. 8 officers and 37 enlisted personnel underwent career schooling, while 4 officers and 14 enlisted personnel underwent specialization courses. 16 officers and 370 enlisted personnel underwent in-house training. During his tenure, the unit received numerous awards such: 2 Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines Battle Streamers, 1 Marawi Streamer, 3 Commanding General Philippine Army Streamers, 1 Gawad sa Kapayapan Plaque, 10 Command Plagues, and numerous letters of commendations from partners in the government and private sector. A commendation for Lieutenant Colonel Don D. Templonlivo from the provincial government of Zamboanga Siboga for the successful joint operations against the Abu Sayyaf group and CDO Limano, President Rojas, RT Lim Zamboanga Siboga on September 9, 2020. Likewise, the Regional Peace and Order Council Region 9 crafted a resolution commanding the unit in the successful conduct of military operation in RT Lim Zamboanga Siboga province that leads to the neutralization of certain Fuergi Indima. One resolution from the House of Representatives commending the troopers of the 44th Infantry Battalion Philippine Army for their valuable achievements in counterinsurgency, anti-violent extremism, and successful dismantling of guerrilla fronts of communist terrorist groups in Western Mindanao, sponsored by Honorable Leonardo Babasa, Representative 2nd District Zamboanga del Sur. Lieutenant Colonel Don D. Templonlivo has brought 2 years of excellence to the 44th Infantry Agile N Stable Battalion. Here's to more years of duty, honor, and patriotism. In summary, to all the unit's accomplishments and to delineate how the unit won against all threats in the area of operation, a book entitled Challenged and Won will published. Unit accomplishments were made possible through the support and guidance of the higher unit commanders, Army Combat Support Units and Combat Service Support Units who gave their all-out supports in the battle against insurgency and lawless elements in the unit's area of operations. General Cirilito E. Sopana, Armed Forces of the Philippines, former commander of the Western Mindanao Command and currently the Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines. Lieutenant General Corlito C. Vinluan Jr. Philippine Army, Commander, Western Mindanao Command, Armed Forces of the Philippines. Lieutenant General Roberto T. Ancan Philippine Army, former 1st Infantry Thabak Division Commander and currently the Commander Central Command, Armed Forces of the Philippines. Major General Rosella G. Muralyo Philippine Army, former Commander, 1st Infantry Thabak Division Philippine Army. Major General Jaime Raso M. Ponio Philippine Army, Commander, 1st Infantry Thabak Division Philippine Army. Brigadier General Bagnes P. Garland Jr. Philippine Army, the former commander of the 102nd Brigade and currently the Assistant Division Commander of the 1st Infantry Thabak Division Philippine Army. Brigadier General Leonel M. Nicolas Philippine Army, Commander 102nd Infantry Exilum Brigade, 1st Infantry Thabak Division Philippine Army. To all the local chief executives together with the members of the local government units, local government agencies, non-government agencies, and organizations for their untiring and relentless support acting upon the call to end local communist armed conflict following the whole-of-nation approach.